is the day in the life of a private chef, the Stan H. Cook's version. Come with me as I shop at Berkely Bowl, which is where I do most of my shopping for my private clients. Um, if you're not familiar with Berkely Bowl, it's located in Berkely, California, right across the bay from San Francisco. Berkely Bowl is my grocery store of choice because they carry a wide array of produce, ingredients, meats, fish, you name it. They have everything. It's one-stop shopping. Anyway, I get myself together by making my list of things that I need to shop for, and then I head out. And then once you get there, you're greeted with, the seasonal produce. This happened to be early winter, late fall, so pumpkins and winter squash and everything is placed on display out front, as well as some of their premier produce. It changes, so I guess whatever they decide to put on sale or really want you to buy, they kind of put out in front. So you're just greeted right away with, a bunch of variety and option. This is the entrance to the store. It's a very big store, and this is one of two. There are two Berkely Bowls in Berkeley, and they're about 6 to 7 minutes apart. The other one is newer, slightly larger, but this is my preferred location, the older one, just because I know how to navigate it well. I've been here tons of times, and I'm familiar with where everything is at. Again, so just a wide array of produce just to start off with, and this is the organic section of the store. So yeah, I make my way, I go through my list, I see what looks good, feels good, I mark everything off as I get it so I don't have to backtrack. And then sometimes I venture off and see just what's available. This is just their apples. The store is very impressive in terms of how much produce and variety they carry. Now this section, there are also organic produce in this section as well, but this is more of your general produce. But again, just the variety. There's different types of, individual produce. So you have tons of different types of grapes, citrus, apples, pears, tropical fruits, you name it. This is where the fishmongers are in the fish section. So plenty to choose from here as well. And then right behind here is like the smoked fish section, and then also you have your Asian aisle. And if you go, to any other grocery store, usually what they call the ethnic aisle or international foods are such a small section of the aisle, and afterthought really. In here, they really do a great job of bringing in a bunch of different products from all over the world, but especially Asia. So yeah, this is why I love shopping here. It's just one-stop shopping. Get everything I need. Here's the teas and coffee, and here's your vegan aisle section. And yeah, it's just, I feel like I'm in a toy store when I shop here. My only complaint about Berkely Bowl is that people absolutely lose their minds when they shop in here, and it's hard to navigate sometimes because people park their carts in the middle of the aisle, or they'll stop and have a conversation with someone, and just block the entire aisle and just not even acknowledge your existence. But anyway, today it was light, and that was the meat section you saw, which is also pretty impressive. And yeah, I just go through the store, I grab what I need. Like I said, I know where everything's at, so I'm kind of in and out when I shop, straight to the point. Always check dates, always check quality, especially things like eggs, anything that is loose and can be damaged, I check before grabbing. Here's a nice little pan of the dairy area. And as you can see, no shortage of products here either. I mean, seriously, impressive, right? That was your pasta area, and here's your breads. There's gluten-free products. Again, you go to any other store and you know, these types of specialty items are just like an afterthought. Not so much here. I mean, whatever you need, they have it. And the other reason why I like one-stop shopping is because if I don't get everything at one place, then I end up going to 2-3 different stores to get everything, and then that takes up like half the day. And I still have to get back and prep everything. I need to clean all the produce and put everything away. So I don't want to spend all day shopping. I like to grab what I need, get in, get out, and then I still have to commute back. So, you know, so yeah, I head back, get ready for my commute across the Bay Bridge, which, when the weather's nice, is a pretty enjoyable commute. However, traffic can be really bad trying to get back across. So I also try to time my shopping with rush hour, and you know, if there's like a game in San Francisco, traffic can be pretty bad because everybody's trying to get to the San Francisco side of the bay. And then I cross over, I head back to where I do all my prep, and I have to unload everything. And nice little surprise here, Mr. Pico. So that's another nice thing I'm greeted by our little puppy Pico, and he makes everything okay. I'm very grateful for Pico. He keeps me company. And of course he has to have a little playtime too. But yeah, so I clean and sanitize the sink before I start to wash the produce. It's very important, especially when you're dealing with organic produce, to make sure you wash the produce. I don't add anything special to the water or anything. I literally just wash, rinse, scrub. I use my hands. You can use a produce brush. Some people use vinegar. There's products you can use, but I rinse everything off with water. Soak it, agitate it, get all that loose debris off. And I'll do that a couple different times just to make sure everything's nice and clean before letting it air dry. See, if you ever hear a chef talk about prepping for work, prepping for an event, prepping for dinner, it's not just processing the food, chopping, seasoning, slicing, dicing, cutting. It's also your work area. You know, you have to prep your station, prep your work area. And so that's what this is. You know, I make sure that there's nothing in the way to kind of hinder my workflow. So I move things out the way. I make space on the counter, and that way I can lay everything out, see what I have, and like I said, I clean all of. Look at those beautiful heirloom tomatoes. sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, just, make mise en place. That means several different things to people, but it's basically having everything in place. And it means starting off with a very organized, clean work surface. So I really love this part of setting up my station. I love working with the produce and examining it and colors. And, it's almost like creating like a canvas. Like I like to arrange the colors on my. I use a flour sack cloth to drain and air dry the fruits and vegetables. So I'll set it up with the various colors in there, similar colors, and try to create like a little art canvas because it's satisfying to look at. So I try to find ways to kind of keep my mind calm while I'm doing all of this, because cooking can be a little stressful. So I like to have a nice, clean, colorful, easy on the eye workspace. Otherwise, if it's like chaotic and things are everywhere, and it's really hard for me to focus, and I'm telling you, it takes me so much longer to get things done when there's just chaos. So I might have a little OCD. That might be it, but yeah, as you can see, I like the color code, the arrangement of the fruits and vegetables and whatnot, and it just helps me to be and feel better organized throughout my workday. So yeah, and anything that's leafy like this, like bunches of herbs, I like to kind of shake dry to get rid of all that excess moisture. Otherwise, the whole cloth would just be soaked just from the herbs, and the air drying process would take much longer. But also, I'm also rapidly working through these products, so it's not like they're sitting there that long. But just try to get rid of as much moisture as possible when possible. And yeah, and then I have everything set out, ready to be prepped and processed. Again, make sure the work area is clean, organized. You don't want too much moisture in your workspace, because things slide, things fall. So yeah, that's pretty much the beginning of my workday. Now the real work begins, and then it's off to prep. So thank you for joining me and coming along with me. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more. Thank you.